It's BB and Dealey, we know you have been waiting, so here's another podcast about movies. Burn after watching.
Welcome to the Burn After Watching podcast. I'm Borderland.
This is Dan.
And we are back with another episode, and today we are talking about, I want to say, my most anticipated film of the year, even though it's probably a better film that I'm waiting for, but I'm blanking hard. I feel like I've been thinking about the Minecraft movie the most for this year, at least.
It's definitely the most relatable and top of mind kind of movie for us, as we are both avid Minecraft users.
Yes, big Minecraft player. I've been playing for like probably 8 years, something like that. Even more than that, actually. Yeah, I was playing 10, 15 years ago, maybe.
Oh, wow. For me, it's more so like since COVID's when we started up.
Yeah.
But definitely still, like when the announcement came out last year, super hype about it.
Super hype about it. I didn't love anything I've seen before. Like the trailers were pretty bad.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was not a fan of like going for the live action mixed with animation either. I almost wish they did a Mario brother thing where it's all animated.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have fitted better. So there's really two things to talk about here. I think it's almost a race to the bottom which one is worse. But there's the movie itself.
Yeah.
And there's the movie experience of going to see the movie. And normally you don't have to worry about this because normally the movie experience is pretty unique to where you're going to go see the film. But there's a TikTok trend that is impacting the movie watching experience. So, and both are, spoiler alert, bad. So I guess which one do you want to start with? The movie itself or the experience?
Let's go movie, then experience.
All right. The movie is directed by Jared Hess, who most people will probably know him because he did Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre with Jack Black. He did some other kind of like smaller film, Mastermind, which was a comedy that kind of worked. Anything else? Like I think for me, Nacho Libre is really what I know him for.
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite never really worked for me. And it's starring Jack Black, Jason Momoa, a girl, Emma Meyer, never heard of her, and then a kid, Sebastian Eugene Hansen, never heard of him as well. There's also Danielle Brooks and Jennifer Coolidge. They're like supporting role. They're not there as much, but they are supporting the cast. And it's really a story about, like I said, it's mixing animation and like live action. And basically the story is that Jack Black loves mining, and he has the urge for the mine. And there's a lot of like those sentences that from the trailer that like sticked around that created this TikTok trend. But and then he end up being sucked up in the world of Minecraft, and then he has a dog there, and eventually there's this crystal that he sent to real Earth to protect Minecraft world, and then more people get sucked in, and then they have to save the world, and then at the end there's like a choice of staying there or going back to real life. That's kind of like your story. It's very basic. I mean, there's really nothing there. It's just like you've seen this a million times. Yeah.
I think like to texture out like the rest, like Jason Momoa's character is this like former childhood video game prodigy who won like a bunch of awards, and then opened up. I think
it was one award, and he's like he's really riding the wave on that.
He's really riding like that coattail of winning that one award. And I think his biggest thing was that it's a 2-player game, but he won it by himself, facing people as tandem teams. And he really stuck with like the 70s or 80s vibes throughout his adulthood. So he's rocking like the long hair, like a bucket of lettuce. He's got like jackets that have like wings on them saying like
Fridges.
Garbage Man or Trash Man. And his business is going out because he doesn't have money, and he's like, how do I get rich really, really quickly? And that kind of ties into like the theme of, we're really gonna out ourselves as nerds here, but mining for diamonds, and diamonds are gonna be the thing that help them pull out from the broke game in real world. And then you have that kid, Sebastian Eugene Hansen, who's like an outcast, and they just moved to this super small town with his sister because they're trying to like get by in life, and he's like this weird guy who tries to make like a backpack rocket ship, a jetpack, and the kids tampered with it, and now he's like on the outskirts. So, but in the Minecraft world, he's like a hero, and so it's like all these things around identity and like who you are, and like being creative, and you fitting in. So there's like themes of coming of age, but it's just more like adult men trying to cope with their inner children.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually like, and I think the other thing is that who is this film for? Maybe it may seem obvious that it's for children, but Minecraft is a game that has been around for a very long time. People that play Minecraft play a lot of hours, and most of them like stick to it for like years. So you'll have people in their 30s that grew up with Minecraft. So you could say, is the movie for kids regardless of Minecraft? Is it for Minecraft people, or is it for like they're trying to hit everyone? And to me, I would say like it's most likely more focused for kids. And I think that even if you don't know anything about Minecraft, you would still have a good time as a kid.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's not at all for Minecraft people. I personally thought that like it was extremely surface level. It was really just like meat and potatoes. When I think about something like the Lego movie, there was a lot of inside joke that if you've played with Lego enough, you would get, and you would like, get kind of some satisfaction from those deeper joke. Same thing with, I feel like Pixar do that very well, where there's jokes for adults that it will go over the head of children, but like you get something out of it. Where here, I think the Minecraft reference, there was one reference to Technoblade, who's a Minecrafter who passed away from cancer a couple years ago, and is kind of like character is a pig with a crown, and at some point you just see him like go through a scene, and that was a nice kind of touch, but like there was very little about like Minecraft kind of like deep knowledge, like mining, or like something that like you would only know if you played a lot. There was very little of that. I thought like maybe that the closest thing we got to is like the chicken lava farm, maybe, but like even this is pretty okay. The creeper farm, but it was very high, like surface level to me. So it's definitely more for children, and I think that our critique is more as Minecraft enjoyer. I would say that out of the gate, I really disliked the film. I thought it was very cheap. Sometimes it looked really bad. I know like it's not that the CGI was bad. Like the animation was good. The character design was really bad. The villager looked weirdly plasticky and like flesh plastic, kind of like meat, like fake meat kind of thing. It was just kind of ugly sometimes. Even like the skeleton and the zombie, they were very not. They were not really true to the game. They were doing things that like doesn't make sense. They were not really dying the right way either, which like kind of annoyed me. They were also like able to be dismembered and stuff, and I don't know. Like it just felt like, I didn't get much out of it. I think that the movie was bad. I think there was a few good laugh, like very minimal, maybe 4 or 5 good laugh. And then the story is very basic. The villain is like extremely boring. Yeah. The animation is just fine. Most of the joke don't land, especially for an adult. So I was very disappointed. Like it's not just a okay film. Like to me, it's a bad film.
Oh yeah, like I think it's very safe to say that it was a pretty bad movie. I think the moments of the fleshy, like the villager entering the portal into the real world, and like that person conversing and falling in love with Jennifer Coolidge, I thought it was like that was very funny. Like I'll give it that was a good cheap laugh, and like in the end the villager speaks English, and like presents his love to Jennifer Coolidge. I can't remember who the voice actor is of the villager. It's someone very famous.
Yeah. Oh man.
There's a show called Only in the
Oh
Shadows.
yeah. The vampire dude.
The vampire guy. So he's very fun. Like that show itself is hysterical. But he's the one. His name is Matt Berry. He plays Laszlo. Great voice actor. Like that part I thought was very funny. Like this villager learned to speak English in like 24 hours because this movie is the duration is like 24 to 48 hours because how they explain it in the movie is every 20 minutes it goes nighttime to daytime and it keeps switches all day. So I thought that was a very like funny touch, and like the other funny moments is like the bromance between Jack Black and Jason Momoa, which is like cheap thrills. It's cheap laughs, like them being in like a 69 position and like flying through the air as they're being chased by the pigs, but like awful, just like a laugh here and there. But I think what feeds into like the poor experience of like the movie being bad is that, you know, what we'll get into eventually is like the experience of watching this movie. Like I think if I watched this at home, like I completely ignored everything that's on social media, everything that's on Letterboxd, and I just discovered this movie on a streaming service and I watched it, it might score like a tiny bit higher.
I don't know, man, because I think, like, to me, some of the laugh were because the crowd was so into the movie that like it actually helped some stuff, I think, overall. I do agree that the bromance work, and I think it mostly worked because even though the script is ridiculous, the dialogues are stupid. Everybody commits like hard. Like I think like Jack Black, you're used to see him like he's 100,000,000% every day, every movie, nonstop. There's a story that like he was playing Minecraft while filming, building houses. For everybody on the cast and stuff like that's fun. Like obviously it doesn't matter in terms of like the result of the film, but you can tell that everyone was like kind of like, this is not a great script, but we just got to give it 1,000,000% to like make it as good as we can. Like you can tell even Momoa, like a very different role for him, I found. Like it's really silly. It's almost something like John Cena would have done to me. Like really over the top, but they kind of commit. They don't kind of go halfway, which help because if it was delivered just a little bit less with less conviction, it would be very painful to watch. Going into the movie experience, from my understanding, because the line delivery was so bad in the trailer, like I am Steve and stuff like this. Apparently, I was not aware of this at all. That on TikTok there was just like line ranking and people like dubbing it and people making fun, slowing it down. You know, like basic TikTok stuff. Really, it was really big. My understanding, on top of that, is that Warner Brothers expected a $50 to $60 million opening over the weekend, like a big opening for a Hollywood film, and nothing crazy. And this is two things. One, tracking what's happening on social media is really hard to understand. Like, are people going to show up? Because like Mobius, for example, is it Mobius? No.
Morbius
last year had tons of memes, tons of like hype online, but it didn't convert into people going to see the film. This totally did. This made $162 million. This is triple what they expected to make, which is crazy. Purely because, and I would say not purely, but like mostly because, I went to see a movie the day before you, and I was like, I can't believe how many 14 and 15 years old there is in this. Like, I'm one of the older, but I was expecting just children. But it's all like 15, 16 years old, people wearing suits, people doing push-up in the aisle, throwing popcorn at each other. And I was like, this is a weird crowd. I assume it's like for the meme, they're there for like, to have a good laugh. Or I was expecting it to be a joke, but they started screaming lines as the movie was playing. Like all together, like everyone was there. They knew what was the point of being there. And what are the lines they should like all scream together and clap. People were standing up. This is what I envision when you tell me you go see a Marvel movie. This is what's in my head, and it was fun at time. Like Mary was saying, like it's kind of fun to see people into something that much, but because it's like in a ironic way, and it was at some point disruptive, where like they were
Yeah.
taking picture of the screen and recording like what's happening in the theater. That was really getting annoying.
Yeah, I think it's. I think I was telling you, it very much felt like the Minion movie, where like
Yes.
there's like fraternities dressing up as minions, and
Gentle
someone
Minions,
dressing up
yeah.
as like Gru, and like they're cheering people on and like, yelling
Yeah.
silly things, right? But this one, it felt like. I come in as an elderly gentleman at my ripe age of 35 to watch a children's movie. And I'm like, oh, on the app for Cineplex, it said the movie's full, but like no one came in. Like, and this was 5 minutes before
Everybody
like
was late.
everybody came late. I was like, why are 14 to 16-year-old like teenagers coming to watch this movie? And like the median age just kept getting younger but older at the same time, because I was thinking like median age like 9, 10 max, and then it was like 13. I was like, oh no, and then it's 14, oh god, and it's 15 and 16. I'm freaking out. All these kids are yelling at the movie theater with, like, as you were saying, like certain lines, or Steve comes out and everyone yells Steve, or they show Technoblade's pig and everyone's freaking out. Like, it pulls you out, right? Because even though we expect some cheers and jeers of a movie, you don't expect it to pull you out of like the escapism that movie presents you. And like the hard truth that came to me is like, when Avengers Endgame came out, it's very close in terms of the experience of like yelling of the anticipation of the screen, but I don't even think it was that bad. Like, people were like oohing and awing in like the last Spider-Man when Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield came onto the screen, but then it stopped and you watch the movie and you still enjoyed the experience. Whereas this is just nonstop. People are just egging each other on to like up one another of, let's scream at this chicken. I saw on a TikTok someone brought a live chicken somehow
Yes.
into the theater and like holding it, and people were jumping on each other's shoulders like the zombie on the chickens. I was like, if I was maybe slightly younger
No.
and didn't want to risk, sorry, let me finish my sentence, because I'm not saying I would have joined them, but it's either if I was slightly younger or slightly older, I feel like I'd be one of those people who would start yelling in the theater. Like, everyone shut the F up.
Yes.
We all paid good money for this. Let's just try to enjoy this. And you can yell when you're at home. Like, this is bananas.
It's such a tough line, right? Because that's the thing, right? Like, what I understand that Marvel people are excited for it. They like it's fandom. This is just a joke. They're there for a joke. They're telling their friend, "We'll go there. We'll say the line. We'll TikTok each other while we do it, and we part of the joke now, and we can like have views on Instagram, which is all what it's about, right?"
Oh, yeah.
Not Instagram, TikTok. Sorry. So, showing my age. But yeah, it was disrupted. Like mine in Quebec City, I saw it in English, which I assume like most of those big TikTok people would go in English to have the line the way it's in the trailer. It was loud. People were clapping. People were screaming lines. Flint and Steel, the Steve thing, the chicken jockey thing. There was probably like 10, 15 moments where like not the whole theater, 60% of the theater had like decided that something needed to be said and clapped, and people. But like you said, I online, like there's example of people like fucking losing their mind. They're like throwing popcorn all over the place. They're jumping on each other's shoulder. Like that's way like, this is like, I would go get a manager. I would be the guy that go get a manager and be like, you need to like refund me, or like just like kick them out.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it was just like, hey, like first put your phones away. Like, nobody should be recording a screen. I'm sorry, but like, maybe like if I go see a film and you check your phone real quick to see what time it is, like I wouldn't care about that. Like if your light, you have no sounds on and your light is all the way down and you're like careful, you look sometimes, like a long film, I'll just quickly check what time is it. But like I it's careful. Mm-hmm. But filming and taking a picture of the screen, it's like, no, that's a big no for me, no matter which movie. Then the line and the enthusiasm and the clapping, for me, it was like hitting the limit of what I would have endured where we were at, but we were probably one of the better one. And I think that like the one thing is that if you're a family, because I don't recommend to go see the movie regardless of the crowd. I think it's a bad film. Just skip it, or it's gonna be on Netflix so fast, most likely, or like Crave or whatever, like HBO Max or whatever it is, because it's Warner Bros. Probably Max. I would say like wait for that because it's not worth your money. But on top of that, if I had a young family with me and I was in one of those crowd, I would leave because it's like your children don't understand that. Like they're not in control. They just see people screaming, and like some of them, it's like almost dangerous, like to have like a group like this next to you, like jumping all around. So I think like if you have a family and you want to go because like your kid want to go, I would pick like an early screening because I assume the TikTok people will be sleeping. it's maybe a generalization, but I'm not expecting them to show up at 10 a.m. in the morning for Minecraft. Yeah. The joke is fun. But it's not like a 10 a.m. In the morning joke. It's like a 9 p.m. Like I went at 7 p.m. and it was full. It was the first night though, and it was rowdy. I think if you go like before 1 p.m., you're probably safe. And maybe in the suburbs you're safer than in this. I don't know, man. I would wait a couple weeks if I'm a family because most likely you'll be able to watch it in theater in like 3 weeks, and it's probably gonna be dead and cringe by now to do the trend. So
very chuggy, you know. I think it's I think there are like great points being raised in terms of like why you shouldn't go see the movie for people who are like super into Minecraft, and if you're like of a younger generation, not like the old farts that are currently talking to mics. But I think there's like, just like with Avengers, there's like a level of community which like you might bond with. Like we definitely don't because we don't like loud places, and you know we like to sleep at 9 and 10 p.m. But if you're looking for a community, there's like, and you don't mind being interrupted and pulled out of like your experience, then this would be a film for you. This would be like if you're in the ages of like let's say 12 to like 17 years old, even 18, 19, and Minecraft is your life, and this is where you find your friends and you've built a community, then this is a perfect time for you because you'll rage, you'll do stupid things, you'll connect with people, and you're involved in the trends. But for everyone else who's like not into that jam, wait for streaming.
I don't know if you agree, because if you like Minecraft, I like Minecraft, and even if I was young, I would be annoyed because I'm here for the film of something I love. Not for like stupid people that are like they only there to make fun of it. They're not like actually excited, right? They're there to laugh at what you love. It's the equivalent of someone next to you while you're playing and saying like, "What a dumb fucking game! Like this game looked bad, and what are those like?" It wouldn't be enjoyable. Like I think that's the issues, right? The difference between a Marvel excitement thing is that all the people there are fucking fan. They love this shit, and like they're losing their mind because they actively, it's like the meme of the guy crying at the Star Wars trailer. This guy is like, it's real emotion, like he really cares. And like that's great. Like I would never shame someone for that. And if you love Minecraft, I think I would be even more annoyed if I was young because I'm there for the right reason. All those people are just there for like TikTok views and for jokes. Like I mean, even if I'm on TikTok and I understand the meme, it would just be annoying for me to like not be able to like enjoy on my own term. Maybe, you know, it's a split where if I'm 14 and I don't know, man, I feel like if I have enough money to go on my own, not with my parents, and I have to suffer through this, and I'm a Minecraft fan, like it's like, it's not like people that are 15 that can go to the movie by themselves have tons of money. And if I'm with my parents, it means I'm young enough that like I probably don't even understand the trend. And that's just probably going to be like the parent will be annoyed. I think the children will just not understand what's happening.
Yeah, like it's so tricky, right? Because I full-heartedly agree with you. As even if as a younger version of myself at 14, I probably would not have enjoyed the experience. But the only thing is like all these 14 and 15-year-olds came with their friends for the most part.
Yeah,
who are all in on the meme, and you know maybe some of them are into Minecraft based on like this is me being a super judgy little bee. Based on who I saw coming into the movie, I don't think they would play Minecraft. So.
I was surprised when I saw my crowd. I was like, those people don't play Minecraft. There's no way. I'm sorry, everybody. But like, I looked at my fiance Mary, and I was like, you know what? I know what people that play Minecraft are like, and there's no except if those people grew up like watching PewDiePie, stuff like this, maybe. But like, This maybe some, but like the majority, I was like, those guys don't play Minecraft. There's no
But
freaking way.
Alex, this is gonna be the question now. So based on us being judgy little bees and saying these kids don't play Minecraft, if someone were to look at you now, would they think you play Minecraft?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so, man.
I don't think so, dude.
I'm
I
nerdy.
think-
I'm nerdy, man. Come on, what are you talking
No,
about?
but like if they just look at you like first glance, they're not gonna be like this guy's nerdy. They're like this guy's a fashionable guy. He knows what he likes. But like I
if
think
they play Minecraft, they're casuals, man. They play on their phone like a couple months during COVID. Like there's no way. I truly think if you like Minecraft, you would never really like a trend that makes fun of a film about it. Even though the film, like I think the film is terrible. Like I'm not recommending the film. I still think that like it's one of the best game I ever played in my life. It's an amazing game, and someone making fun of it. Just for views, I don't think I would be like, whatever. Even if I was young, I don't see even if the movie's bad, I don't see the point. I would have no problem people making fun of the film for what it is.
Yeah.
But not in this is just for show. It's just for views.
I'm sure through this movie, be it through the memes and the trends, that like the number of users increasing by the day are probably like not astronomical, but it's probably very noticeable. I want to see what this is about. They're going to realize very quickly that there's very small correlation between the experience of playing the game and what's happening on the theater. But like regardless, I think it was the movie not that fantastic. The experience super poor. But if you're young and you're I don't know why I'm trying to die on this hill, but like if you're young, maybe this is like your gateway into this like new gaming experience.
I don't think so, man. I don't think. I mean, maybe like a few people that like learn about Minecraft through. I mean, the thing is like, how can you learn about Minecraft in 2025 through a meme? If you're 16, it means like from 10 to 16 for the last 6 years, you had access to YouTube and internet. Minecraft is an enormous thing, especially during COVID. It was huge. I mean, it had major like period before that, but like COVID was a big thing. PewDiePie, like the YouTube, like Minecraft, like there's no way you don't know what Minecraft is. Like most people do. Maybe they never played, but they still know what it is. And it's the most bought game of all time or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So I think the chances that someone really get into Minecraft because the film is possible, probably younger people, I would say, that like parents are just taking them to a family movie and it happens to be Minecraft and not vice versa. But I think like for a TikTok people, like the TikTok people, I don't think they're there for the real reason of the movie. I think it could be any movie that is funny to make, that is cool to make fun of, basically on social media. Like Minions is the same thing. Like those people don't give a shit about Minion. Like realistically, this is Minion is an even better example because there's no nostalgia for like older people like us. It's purely for young people, but they still it was a joke in there, so older audience were going for the joke. So it's clearly not about the property or like what the movie's about. It's only about the joke, which means like to me, for someone to get invested based on a joke for something they would have heard of many times before, I think it's kind of like it's going to be a slim number. I think the number of Minecraft user will definitely go up. Because it's just like it's getting a lot of exposure right now, especially in other maybe place in the world versus like here it's already widespread in the US and Canada. At the end of the day, I think it's a bad film. Let's go into rating. I gave it a 2 at first, but the more I thought about it, the worse it got. So I lowered down to 1.5, which is a big burn. And the experience is like terrible. I think the experience is probably making it worse, but I don't think it would be that much better watching it at home, to be honest.
No, I gave this a 1.5. Like pretty bad. Like this is something that like I can rank close to like even like a 0.5. Like there's the 0.5 is purely based on nostalgia and the cheap laughs you get through Bromance and Jennifer Coolidge. But everything else about this movie, even for someone who likes to watch like movies dedicated to children like through Pixar and stuff like that, it's pretty piss poor. So I feel like you can almost, definitely a burn. You can almost title this this episode as Two Angry Men watching Minecraft. But yeah, huge burn.
Have a good one, everyone.
Joe.
Cheers.